Kamil Szeremeta! Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. That's Rachel. I'm Kelsey.
And we got a fight announcement today for December 18th, the day before Canelo's fight.
All of a sudden there's just fights everywhere. You get a fight, you get a fight, you get a fight.
The fight is for Triple G fighting Kamil Szeremeta.
We watched it obviously on a YouTube clip to make sure we could say his name possibly correct.
We heard the fight announcer.
So that's how we say it. Kamil Szeremeta!
We just assumed that's exactly how you say it. That must be the Polish accent. Anyway, Triple G was supposed to fight this guy last February. I don't remember why the fight was pushed back. And then it was pushed back till like March or April. And then it got pushed because of COVID. And now they're fighting in December all of a sudden.
So
could it be because Canelo announced his fight?
Right, the day before is... All right, Canelo's going to fight the day before Canelo's fight.
So it was like, do you guys want to fight December 18th?
So what's weird about that whole thing is that I guess they're trying to set up Canelo versus Triple G 3, even though Canelo no longer in his contract with DAZN. So they didn't want to pay Canelo his contract, but they still wanted to fight on DAZN. Brilliant! I guess, right? Like
DAZN's like, we make out like bandits.
Yeah, we get Canelo fights. You get a Canelo fight. You get a Canelo fight. No, only we get a Canelo fight.
Yeah, because they will both be on DAZN, which I'm happy with. That works for me. I already subscribed to DAZN, so I'm good with that. But what do we think? Well, there's two things here. First, let's just talk about, do you think that there's going to be a rubber match between Gennadiy Golovkin? We'll go with Golovkin.
Golovkin? Snuffleupagus?
Triple G and Canelo?
Because I got to be a third fight.
I got a feeling. My story that I make up is that Canelo doesn't care that much anymore about this. He's got other things to do, and he went out there and was like, "Hey, Calvin Smith, let's do this." And I'm more excited for that fight.
Oh yeah, me too.
We've not been fans of I'll watch. The end of the trilogy for them, but I don't really need it to happen at this point, because what I've needed all along over the past year or so, when Triple G changed trainers, I need to see him in fights because I need to see something different. His last fight...
He didn't look great against Sergey Derevyanchenko.
Right. I was like, what's different here?
Yeah.
What's different? What's changed? I don't know. So I'm not convinced... I wasn't convinced I needed to see the Triple G that showed up in fight 2 with Canelo again against Canelo. I'm certainly not convinced that I need to see the Triple G I saw against Derevyanchenko against Canelo in a third fight. I'm just kind of cold on that. Yet, I mean, you gotta think that the reason this is December 18th.
Oh yeah, definitely. They want to set that up, the timing. They want to make sure that they get the timing right. They both win their fights. Assuming they both win their fights, we want to set up the trilogy. I do think the trilogy happens because there's a lot of money. They're both stars in the sport. Even if Golovkin hasn't looked great, he's still a big name in the sport. And you put Canelo versus Golovkin in the third fight with the bad blood between them. The first fight, people was disputed, right? The second fight, I thought Canelo won a little more convincingly. Third fight makes money for both fighters, and so that's why I think it will happen.
And, I mean, how can you turn down the timing, right? They both fight a day apart. Clearly, they're both going to be ready for their next fight at the same time.
They could fight on Sunday.
No. They fight in 6 weeks would be I think the minimum that you would do. They probably do it longer. It'd probably be May.
Oh, no, there's a lot of fights. Canelo has a lot of fights out there because he can fight anywhere between 160 and 175. Well, that gives him all sorts of fights to consider, right? They were talking about him fighting Caleb Plant, who's a PBC fighter. The idea behind his big Canelo Promotions thing is that he'll be able to jump around. I don't know if that's practically can be done. I hope it can, and I hope that he fights anyone and everyone because he's done that pretty much his whole career. I want to see him to keep doing it.
All right, so now let's talk about Triple G versus Kamil. I already forgot.
Szeremeta. I don't remember his name either, but hey, it's... He won the EBU middleweight championship before. That's the regional level belt on the other side of the world. So I think that this
since
guy...
he's 21-0, I think...
I went over his box rec record, and I haven't seen him fight before, but definitely if... this isn't
he's
a fight.
a mandatory for Triple G.
Mandatories can sneak up on people sometimes and win. And then you're like, oh, who's this guy?
Especially
Maybe
given...
he's this guy.
Triple G, guess what? He's only aged since the last time we saw him, and he's already... in that place of age that is question, you start to question.
He's looking at his bucket list,
What the? Oh no!
He's watching those old people movies.
This fight got pushed back so far. It's just I think that Golovkin lost a year, and that's not good for Golovkin. It's not good for most athletes.
Maybe it's probably
unless
not
they're
good.
very young.
Well, sometimes if you're older. Sometimes, I'm going to say that sometimes it can be good, though, because it allows the fighter to heal things that maybe weren't healed. I don't know if that's the case here. I don't think you can expect that here.
Yeah.
He needs to get in the ring. He needs to fight.
He definitely needs to get in the ring.
Needs to get another win if he wants that opportunity to have a big payday against Canelo Alvarez for a third fight. And I think that's what he wants to do.
Sometimes I just get confused by the track of Golovkin's career as of late. Almost like he has this... I'm going to make up a story here. Somebody over there has an obsession with Canelo. And I just don't... I'm like, move on. Let's do some other stuff. Because this is a fight in December. I get the global pandemic. But boxing came back in August. He could have fought December and previously had fought in September. There were... I need to see more of Golovkin. I need to see... he needs to build interest because he is charismatic. He is likable.
I like fight. Yeah.
People love him.
He's more than likable. He's lovable.
Yeah. He's great. But I need that other little thing, and that's to see him in the ring being also great, really good.
Can we just point out that maybe Rachel, it's because he changed the spelling of his name?
Oh, that the misspelling was like the magic?
I'm going to say that since he put the I in Gennadiy, which happened in around March or April of 2019, look at it. He's had 3 fights. He probably, maybe he lost Derevchenko.
He brought on the global pandemic?
That's strong. That's a strong hot take, Rachel. But maybe, I think we have to assume absolutely that he did.
Who can I bring this to? Who out there takes on like these,
investigative journalists?
Yeah, I was thinking more like conspiracy theories. I was thinking somebody run the other way with it. Like I just want to, fan the fire.
Oh yeah, you don't want him to
fan the flame.
Right, because this is we made up.
I want to make it a big deal with very little evidence.
Okay, yeah, okay, I can do that.
Okay, all right, good, good. Hey, you know what else is a big deal with very little evidence? Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel. So, go ahead and give us a subscribe because you definitely need more big deals in your life with very little evidence.
So they call me Kelsey Big Deal McCarson.